Success has a price, and that price is sacrifice. Every dream demands that you give up comfort, excuses, and instant gratification. The question isn't whether you'll sacrifice. It's whether you'll sacrifice today for the life you want tomorrow. Every meaningful achievement begins with a decision to trade comfort for progress. Sacrifice is not about losing something valuable. It is about investing in something even greater. The people who build extraordinary lives are rarely the most gifted. They are the ones who consistently choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and long-term rewards over short-term satisfaction. Every early morning, every extra hour of learning, every difficult decision, and every moment of perseverance becomes a brick in the foundation of lasting success. Life rewards those who are willing to prepare before opportunities arrive. When you embrace sacrifice as a daily habit rather than a temporary burden, you develop the strength, character, and confidence that no obstacle can take away. Success is earned one disciplined choice at a time. Success has a price, and that price is sacrifice. This is a truth that many people try to avoid because sacrifice is uncomfortable. It asks you to give up something you enjoy today for something you deeply desire tomorrow. It asks you to say no when everyone else is saying yes. It asks you to keep moving when your body wants to stop and your mind begins to question the journey. Yet every meaningful achievement in life begins with this simple decision: choosing what matters most over what feels easiest. Many people dream about living an extraordinary life. They imagine financial freedom, strong relationships, good health, and a meaningful career. But dreams alone have never changed a life. Every dream eventually reaches a moment where action becomes more important than imagination. At that point, sacrifice becomes the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Think about a seed planted in the ground. Before it grows into a strong tree, it disappears beneath the soil. It spends time in darkness before reaching the light. From the outside, it may look like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, powerful growth is taking place. Your sacrifices work the same way. The long nights of studying, the early mornings of training, the difficult conversations, the disciplined habits, these may not receive applause today, but they are preparing you for a future that others cannot yet see. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that sacrifice means losing. In reality, sacrifice is about exchanging something small for something greater. You exchange comfort for confidence. You exchange entertainment for education. You exchange excuses for results. Every successful person has made these exchanges at some point. The difference is that they understood that temporary discomfort often creates permanent rewards. Imagine two friends who begin their adult lives together. One chooses to spend every evening watching television, scrolling through social media, and waiting for life to improve. The other spends those same evenings learning new skills, reading books, exercising, and building something meaningful. At first, their lives look almost identical. Months pass, and there seems to be little difference. But years later, one has developed knowledge, discipline, opportunities, and confidence, while the other wonders why nothing has changed. The difference was never luck. It was the daily sacrifices that were invisible to everyone else. Life has a simple rule. Every choice creates a future. The small decisions you make every day become the story of your life. Skipping one workout may seem harmless. Ignoring one opportunity to learn may seem insignificant. Wasting one evening may not appear to matter. But when those choices become habits, they shape your identity. In the same way, every disciplined action strengthens the person you are becoming. There will be moments when sacrifice feels unfair. You will see others enjoying themselves while you continue working toward your goals. You may wonder if your efforts are worth it. During those moments, remember that appearances can be deceiving. People often celebrate success without seeing the years of preparation behind it. They notice the victory but rarely witness the countless sacrifices that made it possible. Success is not built on occasional effort. It is built on consistency. Anyone can stay focused for one day. Anyone can be motivated for 1 week. The real challenge is remaining committed when progress is slow, when nobody notices your effort, and when the results seem far away. That is where character is developed. Character grows when you continue doing the right thing without needing immediate rewards. There is another kind of sacrifice that is even more important. Sometimes you must sacrifice old beliefs about yourself. You must let go of the idea that you are not capable, not talented enough, or not worthy of success. These thoughts quietly limit your potential. Every time you choose courage over fear, you break another chain that has been holding you back. Consider someone who dreams of starting a business. Fear tells them to wait until everything is perfect. Doubt whispers that they might fail. But growth begins the moment they sacrifice certainty for possibility. They start learning, improving, making mistakes, and adapting. Every challenge teaches them something valuable. Eventually, they become someone who is stronger than the person who first began the journey. The greatest reward is not just the business they build, but the person they become along the way. The same principle applies to every area of life. Healthy relationships require sacrificing pride to choose understanding. Financial success requires sacrificing unnecessary spending to create lasting security. Physical fitness requires sacrificing convenience to build strength. Personal growth requires sacrificing old habits that no longer serve your future. Every area of improvement asks for something in return. Do not wait until you feel ready. Readiness is often created through action, not before it. The first step may feel uncomfortable, but every step after that becomes easier because confidence grows through experience. Each small sacrifice becomes proof that you are capable of more than you once believed. Start with simple choices. Wake up a little earlier. Spend less time complaining and more time improving. Replace 1 hour of distraction with 1 hour of learning. Save a portion of what you earn instead of spending it all. Keep promises to yourself, even when nobody else is watching. These actions may appear small, but over time they create extraordinary results. One day, people may look at your success and call you fortunate. They may think everything came easily. Only you will know the truth. You will remember the mornings when you chose discipline over sleep, the evenings when you chose learning over comfort, and the moments when you kept going despite uncertainty. Those quiet sacrifices will become the foundation of every achievement you earn. Never fear sacrifice when it serves a meaningful purpose. Every disciplined decision is shaping a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. The comfort you give up today is temporary, but the character you build will stay with you for a lifetime. Choose your future over your feelings, your purpose over your excuses, and your growth over your comfort. The sacrifices you make today are not taking life away from you. They are building the life you have always dreamed of living. The foundation of every lasting achievement is self-discipline. While talent may open a door and opportunity may create a chance, discipline is what keeps you moving forward long after excitement has disappeared. It is the quiet force that helps ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. It is not built in a single day, and it is not reserved for a gifted few. Self-discipline is a choice, practiced repeatedly until it becomes part of who you are. Many people wait for motivation before they take action. They tell themselves they will start when they feel inspired, energetic, or confident. But feelings are unpredictable. Some mornings you wake up ready to conquer the world, while other days even the smallest task feels overwhelming. If your future depends on how you feel, your progress will always be uncertain. Self-discipline changes everything because it teaches you to act regardless of your emotions. It reminds you that your commitment is stronger than your mood. Imagine a builder constructing a house. He does not stop working because one day is cloudy or because the weather is not perfect. He follows the plan, lays one brick at a time, and continues until the house is complete. Your dreams deserve the same approach. Every disciplined action is another brick placed in the life you want to build. Some bricks may seem small, but together they create something strong enough to withstand life's challenges. One of the greatest misunderstandings about discipline is that it limits freedom. In reality, discipline creates freedom. The discipline to manage your finances gives you financial peace. The discipline to care for your health gives you energy and strength. The discipline to keep learning opens new opportunities. The discipline to manage your time allows you to spend more of it doing what truly matters. What seems restrictive today often becomes the very thing that gives you greater choices tomorrow. Think about an athlete preparing for an important competition. While others are sleeping, the athlete is already training. While friends are enjoying another evening of comfort, the athlete is practicing the same movements again and again. There are no cheering crowds during these early mornings or late nights. There is only a quiet commitment to becoming better. When competition day arrives, people admire the performance, but they rarely see the thousands of disciplined decisions that made it possible. Your life works the same way. Every time you choose to finish a task instead of postponing it, every time you choose learning instead of endless entertainment, every time you choose patience instead of giving up, you are strengthening your discipline. These moments may seem ordinary, but they quietly transform your future. There will always be distractions. The world is full of things competing for your attention. Notifications, endless scrolling, unnecessary conversations, and countless excuses can slowly steal your focus. Most distractions do not destroy your dreams overnight. They simply delay them one day at a time until years have passed. Self-discipline is the ability to recognize what matters most and protect it from everything that does not. Consider two students preparing for an important exam. One studies consistently for an hour every day, reviewing lessons and asking questions whenever something is unclear. The other keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes the night before the exam. Both students had the same opportunity, but only one developed the discipline to prepare consistently. Success was not decided on exam day. It was decided by the daily habits that came before it. The same principle applies to every goal. You do not become financially secure by making one smart decision. You become financially secure through hundreds of disciplined choices. You do not become healthy because of one workout. You become healthy by consistently choosing habits that support your well-being. You do not become confident because someone encourages you once. Confidence grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. Perhaps the hardest part of discipline is continuing when nobody notices. There will be days when your efforts seem invisible. No one applauds your consistency. No one celebrates your progress. It is easy to wonder whether your work matters. But remember, the strongest roots of a tree grow underground where nobody can see them. The visible strength comes later because of the invisible work done first. Discipline also teaches you how to recover from failure. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone experiences setbacks. The difference is that disciplined people do not allow one bad day to become a bad month or a bad year. They learn, adjust, and begin again. They understand that perfection is not required for progress. Persistence matters far more than flawless performance. Sometimes your biggest challenge will not come from difficult circumstances. It will come from your own comfort. Comfort quietly convinces you that you have done enough, that tomorrow is a better time to begin, or that small compromises do not matter. But every time you choose comfort instead of growth, you move a little farther from the person you could become. Self-discipline helps you recognize these moments and choose your future instead of temporary ease. Developing discipline does not require dramatic changes. Start with small promises that you can keep. Wake up when you plan to wake up. Finish the book you started. Exercise for 20 minutes instead of waiting for the perfect workout. Spend less time complaining and more time improving. Organize your workspace. Follow through on commitments even when no one is watching. These simple actions strengthen your ability to trust yourself. As your discipline grows, something remarkable begins to happen. You stop depending on outside encouragement because your habits begin carrying you forward. Challenges no longer feel impossible because you have already proven that you can do difficult things. Confidence becomes natural because it is built on real experience rather than wishful thinking. Your future is not shaped by occasional moments of greatness. It is shaped by the daily choices you make when life feels ordinary. Those quiet decisions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. Never underestimate the power of self-discipline. It is the bridge between your dreams and your reality, between your intentions and your achievements. Every time you choose responsibility over excuses, focus over distraction, and action over procrastination, you move one step closer to the life you truly want. Stay committed, trust the process, and remember that every disciplined decision today is creating the successful person you will become tomorrow. Consistency is one of the most powerful forces in the world, yet it is often overlooked because it does not create instant results. People admire dramatic transformations, major achievements, and overnight success stories, but what they rarely notice are the hundreds of ordinary days that made those extraordinary moments possible. Real success is not built in a single breakthrough. It is built through small actions repeated with purpose, day after day, even when progress feels invisible. Many people begin their journey with excitement. They buy the books, make the plans, set ambitious goals, and imagine a better future. For a few days or weeks, they are full of energy. Then life becomes busy. Challenges appear. Motivation fades. The routine becomes difficult. And suddenly the goal that once felt exciting starts to feel like a burden. This is where consistency separates those who achieve lasting success from those who only dream about it. Consistency is not about being perfect. It is about refusing to quit. It means showing up even when you are tired. It means taking one small step when you cannot take 10. It means understanding that progress does not require extraordinary effort every day. It requires steady effort over a long period of time. Imagine water flowing over a large rock. One drop of water cannot change the rock. Even 100 drops make little difference. But after years of constant flow, the rock begins to change shape. It is not because the water is stronger. It is because it never stops. That is exactly how consistency works in your life. Small actions may seem insignificant today, but repeated over months and years, they become powerful enough to transform your future. Think about someone learning a new language. On the first day, they know only a few words. After a week, they may still struggle to hold a simple conversation. It can feel discouraging because the improvement is difficult to notice. But if they continue practicing every single day, reading, listening, speaking, and making mistakes, one day they suddenly realize they can communicate with confidence. Their success did not happen overnight. It happened because they stayed consistent when the results were too small to celebrate. The same principle applies to every dream you have. A healthy body is built through consistent exercise and better eating habits. Financial security grows through consistent saving and wise decisions. Strong relationships are built through consistent kindness, honesty, and respect. Confidence develops through consistently facing challenges instead of avoiding them. Every important area of life rewards consistency. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting immediate rewards. We live in a world that encourages instant satisfaction. We want quick results, fast progress, and immediate recognition. But the greatest achievements follow a different timeline. Nature itself teaches this lesson. A tree does not grow to full height in a single season. It develops slowly, strengthening its roots before extending its branches. If you become impatient and stop watering it because you cannot see rapid growth, you will never experience the shade it could have provided. There will be days when your efforts seem meaningless. You may work hard without receiving praise. You may improve without anyone noticing. You may wonder if your discipline is making any difference at all. During those moments, remind yourself that growth often happens quietly before it becomes visible. Just because you cannot see immediate results does not mean nothing is happening. Every positive habit is strengthening your future in ways you cannot yet measure. Consider two people who decide to improve their health. One exercises intensely for a week, then gives up because they do not see dramatic changes. The other exercises moderately 4 or 5 times every week, month after month, without expecting miracles. After a year, the difference between them is remarkable. The second person did not rely on bursts of motivation. They relied on consistency. Their success was not created by doing everything perfectly. It was created by simply refusing to stop. Consistency also teaches patience, and patience is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. It reminds you that meaningful goals deserve time. Every skill, every relationship, every business, every career, and every personal transformation grows through repeated effort. If you constantly change direction because results seem slow, you never stay on one path long enough to discover what is possible. Another important lesson is that consistency builds trust, not only with others, but also with yourself. Every time you keep a promise you made to yourself, your confidence grows. You begin to believe that your words have value because your actions support them. Over time, you become someone who follows through instead of giving up. That identity becomes one of your greatest strengths. Life will test your consistency. There will be unexpected setbacks, disappointments, and moments when everything feels difficult. You may experience failure. You may lose confidence. You may question your ability. But consistency does not mean never falling down. It means always getting back up. Missing one day does not define you. Giving up completely does. Every new day gives you another opportunity to continue building the life you want. One helpful mindset is to stop focusing only on the finish line. Instead, fall in love with the process. Learn to appreciate each small improvement. Celebrate showing up. Celebrate completing today's work. Celebrate becoming slightly better than yesterday. These small victories create momentum, and momentum makes consistency easier to maintain. Start by creating simple habits that fit into your daily life. Read 10 pages instead of waiting until you have hours. Exercise for 20 minutes instead of expecting perfection. Save a small amount of money every month. Practice one important skill every day. Spend time with the people you love consistently rather than occasionally. These actions may seem small, but they create extraordinary results over time. Remember that every successful person once stood exactly where you are now. They faced doubt, slow progress, and moments of frustration. What made the difference was not exceptional talent. It was their decision to keep going long after others stopped. While many people search for shortcuts, they stayed committed to the simple habits that slowly built an extraordinary life. Your future is being created today, not through one remarkable action, but through the ordinary choices you repeat every day. Every page you read, every workout you finish, every skill you practice, every promise you keep, and every challenge you face is adding another piece to the person you are becoming. Never underestimate the quiet power of consistency. It may not attract attention today, but it will shape your character, strengthen your confidence, and transform your future. Stay faithful to the small steps, trust the process even when progress feels slow, and remember that the life you dream of is built one consistent decision at a time. Every day you choose to continue, you become stronger, wiser, and closer to the success you are working so hard to achieve. Personal growth begins the moment you accept one simple truth. The greatest investment you will ever make is in yourself. Money can be lost, opportunities can disappear, circumstances can change without warning, but the knowledge you gain, the character you build, the skills you develop, and the wisdom you earn, become part of who you are. No one can take those away. Every step you take toward becoming a better version of yourself increases your ability to create a better life. Many people spend years waiting for their lives to change. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the right relationship, a better job, or the ideal moment to begin. But real transformation rarely starts with changing your surroundings. It begins by changing yourself. When your mindset grows, your decisions improve. When your decisions improve, your habits change. And when your habits change, your life naturally begins to move in a new direction. Imagine carrying a small cup to a river. No matter how much water the river holds, you can only collect what your cup can contain. Your opportunities work the same way. Life may offer incredible possibilities, but your ability to receive them depends on who you have become. Personal growth enlarges your capacity. It prepares you to handle greater responsibility, greater success, and greater challenges without being overwhelmed. One of the biggest misconceptions is that growth is always comfortable. It is not. Growth often begins with discomfort. It asks you to admit that there are things you do not know. It requires you to leave familiar routines, challenge old beliefs, and face situations that test your confidence. This can feel unsettling, but discomfort is often a sign that you are expanding beyond your current limits. Think about someone learning to ride a bicycle for the first time. They wobble, lose balance, and fall more than once. Every fall teaches them something. Every attempt improves their coordination. If they stop after the first failure, they never experience the freedom of riding confidently. Life follows the same pattern. Every mistake contains a lesson if you are willing to learn instead of quit. Many people fear failure because they see it as proof that they are not good enough. But failure is not your identity. It is simply feedback. It shows you what needs improvement. Every successful person has experienced disappointment, rejection, and setbacks. What made them different was not the absence of failure, but their willingness to grow because of it instead of being defeated by it. Personal growth also requires honesty with yourself. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck when things go wrong. It is much harder to ask, what can I learn from this? What can I improve? These questions shift your focus from excuses to solutions. They place the power back into your hands because they remind you that while you cannot control everything that happens, you can always control how you respond. Consider two employees working at the same company. Both receive similar opportunities. One finishes the day's work and goes home without thinking about improvement. The other spends a little time each evening learning new skills, reading books related to the industry, asking experienced people for advice, and practicing communication. 5 years later, one remains in the same position while the other has grown into a leader. The difference was not talent alone. It was the commitment to continuous personal growth. Growth is not only about gaining knowledge. It is also about developing emotional strength. Life will challenge your patience, your courage, and your resilience. There will be moments when people misunderstand you, criticize you, or doubt your abilities. If your confidence depends entirely on the opinions of others, you will constantly feel unstable. Personal growth teaches you to build confidence from within by focusing on your values, your effort, and your progress instead of seeking constant approval. Another important part of growth is learning to manage your thoughts. Your mind is like a garden. If you neglect it, negative thoughts, fear, and doubt will naturally grow. But if you intentionally fill it with positive ideas, valuable knowledge, and encouraging beliefs, your mindset becomes stronger. What you consistently allow into your mind eventually shapes the way you see yourself and the world around you. There is also great value in surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth. The people you spend time with influence your thinking, your habits, and your expectations. If you are constantly around those who complain, avoid responsibility, and settle for less, it becomes easy to adopt the same attitude. But when you spend time with people who are learning, improving, and striving for meaningful goals, their mindset begins to inspire your own. Growth becomes contagious. Personal growth requires patience because change rarely happens overnight. You may read a book without feeling dramatically different. You may practice a skill for weeks before seeing noticeable improvement. You may work on your attitude and still struggle with old habits. That is normal. Growth is often invisible while it is happening. Like roots growing beneath the ground, much of the transformation takes place before anyone can see the results. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself simple questions. What did I learn today? Where did I improve? What mistake taught me something valuable? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions keep you focused on progress instead of perfection. They remind you that every day offers another opportunity to become wiser than you were yesterday. Do not compare your journey to someone else's. Every person has a different starting point, different challenges, and a different path. Comparison often steals motivation because it focuses on what others have achieved instead of what you are capable of becoming. The only meaningful comparison is between the person you were yesterday and the person you are today. Even small improvements matter because they accumulate over time into remarkable transformation. Start investing in yourself every single day. Read books that expand your thinking. Learn skills that increase your value. Take care of your health because your body supports every dream you pursue. Develop discipline, practice gratitude, improve your communication, and remain curious throughout your life. Every positive habit becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Never believe that you have reached your limit. Human potential is far greater than most people ever discover because too many stop growing long before they reach their true capacity. Every challenge you overcome, every lesson you learn, and every skill you develop makes you more prepared for the opportunities ahead. Remember that success is not only measured by what you achieve, but by who you become along the journey. A stronger mind, a kinder heart, greater wisdom, deeper character, and unwavering resilience are rewards that last far longer than any temporary accomplishment. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep becoming the person your dreams require. The greatest transformation in your life will always begin with the decision to improve yourself one day, one lesson, and one choice at a time. Your mindset is the invisible force that shapes every decision you make, every challenge you face, and every opportunity you either embrace or ignore. Before success becomes visible in your life, it begins as a way of thinking. Long before a person builds a successful business, creates a meaningful career, achieves financial freedom, or transforms their health, they first develop a mindset that supports those outcomes. Your life is often a reflection of the beliefs you consistently hold about yourself and what is possible. Many people believe that success is determined by talent, intelligence, or luck. While these factors may influence the journey, they are rarely the deciding factor. Two people can have the same education, the same opportunities, and even the same resources, yet their results can be completely different. The difference often lies in how they think. One person sees obstacles as reasons to stop. The other sees them as lessons to learn. One focuses on problems, while the other searches for solutions. The same circumstances produce different outcomes because the mindset behind the actions is different. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain. One person looks at the steep climb and says, "This is impossible." Another looks at the same mountain and says, "This will be difficult, but every step will bring me closer to the top." Neither person has climbed the mountain yet, but their thinking has already influenced their future. The first person walks away before the journey begins. The second begins climbing, knowing that progress is made one step at a time. A success mindset does not mean pretending life is easy. It does not ignore challenges or deny difficulties. Instead, it accepts reality while refusing to surrender to it. It understands that setbacks are temporary, failures are educational, and difficult seasons are opportunities to grow stronger. This mindset allows you to remain hopeful without becoming unrealistic and determined without becoming discouraged. Think about a young entrepreneur who starts a small business. In the first year, sales are slow, mistakes are common, and uncertainty seems constant. A negative mindset would interpret every setback as proof that success is impossible. A success mindset asks different questions. What can I improve? What lesson does this challenge teach me? How can I serve people better? Those questions shift attention away from frustration and toward progress. Over time, those small improvements create remarkable results. One of the greatest enemies of success is limiting beliefs. These are quiet thoughts that tell you that you are too old, too young, too inexperienced, or simply not capable enough. They often sound convincing because they have been repeated for years, but beliefs are not always facts. Many of them were formed by past disappointments, criticism, or fear rather than reality. If you continue believing that your future must look like your past, you may never give yourself permission to grow beyond your current circumstances. Changing your mindset begins by changing the conversations you have with yourself. Pay attention to the words you repeat in your mind every day. If you constantly tell yourself that you will never succeed, your actions will begin to reflect that belief. If you remind yourself that every challenge is preparing you for greater responsibility, your confidence begins to grow. Your inner dialogue becomes the foundation of your outer actions. Another powerful characteristic of a success mindset is taking responsibility. It is easy to blame the economy, other people, bad timing, or difficult circumstances when life becomes challenging. But responsibility gives you something far more valuable than excuses. It gives you control. The moment you ask, "What can I do to improve this situation?" you shift from being a victim of circumstances to becoming the creator of your future. Responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. It means recognizing that your response always remains your choice. Gratitude also plays an important role in developing a successful mindset. Many people delay happiness until they reach a certain goal. They believe they will appreciate life once they earn more money, achieve recognition, or accomplish something significant. But gratitude teaches you to value what you already have while continuing to work for what you desire. This balance creates emotional strength because you no longer depend entirely on future achievements to experience fulfillment. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is equally important. Your thoughts are shaped by the people you spend time with, the books you read, the conversations you have, and the information you consume every day. If your environment constantly feeds fear, negativity, and hopelessness, maintaining a strong mindset becomes much harder. Choose influences that encourage growth, responsibility, learning, and possibility. Protect your mind just as carefully as you protect your most valuable possessions. There will be moments when your mindset is tested. You may lose an opportunity you worked hard for. You may experience rejection after giving your best effort. You may face criticism from people who do not understand your vision. During those moments, remember that one event does not define your future. Every successful person has faced disappointment. What separates them is their refusal to allow temporary setbacks to become permanent beliefs. A success mindset also embraces continuous learning. It understands that no one knows everything. Instead of feeling threatened by mistakes, it welcomes feedback because feedback creates improvement. Every new skill you learn, every lesson you apply, and every experience you reflect upon increases your ability to create better results. Growth becomes a lifelong commitment rather than a destination. Developing this mindset requires daily practice. Begin each morning by reminding yourself of your purpose. Focus on solutions instead of complaints. Replace comparisons with personal progress. Celebrate small victories because they build confidence for larger challenges. Read something that expands your thinking. Spend time with people who inspire you to become better. At the end of each day, reflect on what you learned rather than only what you achieved. Remember that success is not created by one extraordinary decision. It is created by thousands of ordinary thoughts that influence ordinary actions. Every positive belief strengthens your confidence. Every responsible choice strengthens your character. Every lesson learned strengthens your wisdom. Over time, these invisible changes produce visible results. The life you desire begins with the way you choose to think today. Refuse to let fear write your future. Refuse to allow doubt to silence your potential. Choose hope over hesitation, solutions over excuses, learning over pride, and courage over comfort. A powerful mindset will not remove every obstacle from your path, but it will give you the strength to overcome every obstacle you face. Build your mind with the same determination that you build your dreams, because the strongest foundation for lasting success will always be the way you choose to think. Responsibility is one of the greatest turning points in a person's life. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to change your circumstances and begin taking ownership of your own life, everything starts to shift. Your future is no longer controlled by luck, other people's decisions, or difficult situations. Instead, it becomes shaped by your choices, your actions, and your willingness to grow through every challenge you face. Many people spend years searching for the secret to success. They hope for the perfect opportunity, the right connection, or a lucky break that will change everything overnight. But lasting success rarely begins with external events. It begins with an internal decision, the decision to accept responsibility for the direction of your life. This does not mean life will always be fair. It does not mean you are responsible for every difficulty that happens to you. It means you are responsible for deciding what happens next. Imagine a sailor crossing the ocean. He cannot control the wind, the waves, or the storm. Sometimes the weather works in his favor, and sometimes it does not. But he can always control how he adjusts his sails. If he spends all his time complaining about the weather, he never reaches his destination. If he learns to respond wisely to changing conditions, he continues moving forward. Life works the same way. You cannot control every event, but you can always control your response. One of the greatest obstacles to responsibility is the habit of blaming. It is easy to blame your past, your family, your employer, the economy, or circumstances beyond your control. While some challenges are real and deeply difficult, living in blame keeps your power in someone else's hands. Every time you say, "I can't because of them," you unknowingly give away your ability to create change. Responsibility gives that power back to you. Think about two people who lose their jobs on the same day. Both experience disappointment, uncertainty, and fear. One spends months complaining about how unfair life is, waiting for someone to solve the problem. The other takes time to learn new skills, updates their resume, builds new connections, and keeps applying for opportunities. Both face the same challenge, but their responses created completely different futures. The difference was not the problem. It was the level of responsibility they accepted. Responsibility also means keeping promises to yourself. Many people make commitments when they feel motivated. They promise to wake up earlier, improve their health, save money, or start a new project. But when motivation fades, those promises disappear. Every broken promise weakens self-confidence because your mind begins to doubt your own words. Every promise you keep, no matter how small, strengthens your belief that you can rely on yourself. Consider someone who decides to improve their physical health. The goal may seem exciting at first, but after a few weeks, the workouts become challenging and unhealthy habits become tempting again. Responsibility means continuing even when no one is watching. It means understanding that your future health depends not on one perfect day, but on hundreds of responsible decisions made consistently over time. Another important part of responsibility is learning from mistakes instead of hiding from them. Everyone makes errors. Everyone experiences moments of poor judgment or missed opportunities. Responsible people do not pretend they are perfect. They admit when they are wrong, learn from the experience, and make adjustments. This attitude turns mistakes into valuable lessons instead of permanent failures. Imagine a young business owner who launches a new product that fails. Customers are disappointed, sales are low, and confidence begins to disappear. An irresponsible mindset blames the market, competitors, or bad luck without learning anything. A responsible mindset asks better questions. What did I overlook? How can I improve? What feedback should I listen to? These questions create growth because they focus on solutions instead of excuses. Responsibility extends beyond personal success. It also shapes the way you influence others. Whether you are a parent, a friend, a leader, or a teammate, people trust those who accept responsibility. They respect individuals who admit mistakes, keep their word, and remain dependable during difficult times. Leadership is not built through titles or authority. It is built through consistent responsibility. There will be moments when responsibility feels heavy. There will be days when you wish someone else would solve your problems or make the difficult decisions for you. During those moments, remember that responsibility is not a burden meant to hold you back. It is a privilege that gives you the ability to shape your own future. Every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to grow stronger because you are choosing to respond instead of react. One powerful mindset shift is to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" The first question often creates frustration and helplessness. The second creates wisdom and growth. Every difficult experience contains lessons that can prepare you for greater opportunities if you are willing to look for them. Responsibility also requires managing your time wisely. Time is one resource that can never be replaced. Every hour spent on distractions is an hour that cannot be recovered. Responsible people treat time as an investment. They choose activities that move them closer to their goals instead of constantly delaying what matters most. They understand that every day is an opportunity to build the future they desire. Financial responsibility follows the same principle. Instead of spending everything they earn, responsible people plan, save, and prepare for the future. They understand that small financial decisions repeated consistently create long-term security. The same wisdom applies to relationships. Strong relationships grow when people take responsibility for their communication, their attitude, and the effort they invest in others. Start practicing responsibility in small ways. Arrive on time. Finish what you begin. Admit mistakes without making excuses. Keep your promises. Learn from criticism instead of becoming defensive. Manage your money wisely. Protect your health. Continue learning. These simple actions may seem ordinary, but together they build extraordinary character. Remember that responsibility is not about carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders. It is about faithfully carrying the responsibilities that belong to you. Every responsible choice strengthens your confidence because it reminds you that you have the ability to influence your own future. Every challenge you face becomes another opportunity to prove your resilience, your integrity, and your commitment to growth. The life you dream of will never be created by excuses, blame, or waiting for perfect circumstances. It will be built through daily decisions to accept responsibility for your actions, your attitude, and your future. Take ownership of your choices, learn from every experience, and continue moving forward with courage. The moment you fully accept responsibility for your life is the moment you unlock the power to transform it into something greater than you ever imagined. Perseverance is the quiet strength that keeps you moving when the excitement has faded, the applause has disappeared, and the finish line still seems far away. It is the decision to continue when quitting feels easier. Every meaningful achievement in life demands more than talent, intelligence, or good intentions. It demands the courage to keep going through disappointment, uncertainty, and failure. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are rarely the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle become the end of their story. Life has a way of testing every dream. The moment you decide to pursue something meaningful, obstacles begin to appear. Plans do not always work. Opportunities are delayed. People may doubt your vision. There will be moments when your own confidence begins to weaken. These challenges are not signs that you should stop. They are opportunities to discover how deeply committed you truly are. Imagine a person climbing a steep mountain. At the bottom, the peak looks beautiful and inspiring. The first part of the climb is filled with excitement because everything feels new. But as the journey continues, the path becomes steeper, the air becomes thinner, and every step requires greater effort. There are moments when turning back seems easier than moving forward. Yet every step, no matter how slow, brings the climber closer to the summit. The mountain does not reward speed. It rewards persistence. Your goals work the same way. Whether you want to build a successful career, improve your health, create financial freedom, or become a better version of yourself, there will be seasons when progress feels painfully slow. Those are the moments when perseverance becomes your greatest advantage. Anyone can continue when everything is easy. True character is revealed when the journey becomes difficult. Many people mistake failure for the end of the road. They believe one rejection, one mistake, or one disappointment defines their future. But failure is often one chapter, not the entire story. Every setback contains valuable lessons that success alone could never teach. Failure teaches patience, humility, resilience, and creativity. It forces you to adapt, improve, and discover strengths you never knew you possessed. Think about a young musician who dreams of performing on large stages. In the beginning, they play for small audiences. Sometimes only a handful of people listen. They receive criticism, make mistakes, and wonder if their dream is realistic. If they stop because success is not immediate, their potential remains undiscovered. But if they continue practicing, improving, and performing, each experience prepares them for greater opportunities. The audience grows because the person grows first. The same principle applies to every area of life. Every challenge is developing something within you. Difficult seasons often produce stronger character than comfortable ones. When life becomes hard, it teaches you patience. When plans fail, it teaches you adaptability. When people doubt you, it teaches you to believe in yourself. Every obstacle has the potential to become part of your strength if you refuse to let it become your excuse. Perseverance also requires emotional resilience. There will be days when you feel discouraged. There will be mornings when your motivation disappears, and evenings when you question whether your efforts are worth it. During those moments, remember that emotions are temporary, but commitment can remain constant. You do not have to feel inspired every day to make progress. You simply need to continue taking the next step. One of the biggest mindset shifts you can make is to stop asking, how much farther do I have to go? And begin asking, what is the next right step? Focusing only on the distance ahead can feel overwhelming. Focusing on today's responsibility keeps the journey manageable. Great achievements are never completed all at once. They are built one decision, one effort, and one day at a time. Consider an author writing a book. Looking at hundreds of empty pages can feel intimidating, but writing one page each day eventually fills the entire manuscript. The completed book is not the result of one extraordinary moment. It is the result of ordinary effort repeated consistently over time. Your dreams are built exactly the same way. Another lesson perseverance teaches is patience with yourself. Growth is rarely a straight line. Some days you make noticeable progress. Other days it feels like you have taken a step backward. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are learning. Every skill requires practice. Every meaningful goal requires time. Be patient enough to allow yourself to improve without demanding perfection. The people around you may not always understand your journey. Some may question your choices. Others may encourage you to settle for less because your determination makes them uncomfortable. Do not let someone else's limited vision become the boundary for your own future. Stay respectful, stay humble, but remain faithful to the purpose that continues to pull you forward. Perseverance becomes even stronger when it is connected to purpose. If your goal is based only on temporary rewards, giving up becomes much easier. But when your purpose is meaningful, providing a better life for your family, becoming someone who inspires others, fulfilling your potential, or leaving a positive impact, your determination gains deeper strength. Purpose gives you a reason to continue long after motivation fades. There is also wisdom in understanding that perseverance does not mean refusing to change your approach. Sometimes persistence means adjusting your strategy while remaining committed to your destination. If one path is blocked, look for another. If one method fails, learn a better one. Flexibility keeps your progress alive without abandoning your vision. Practice perseverance in small ways every day. Finish tasks you begin. Continue learning even when improvement feels slow. Return after setbacks instead of walking away. Speak kindly to yourself during difficult moments. Celebrate progress instead of demanding perfection. Trust that every challenge you overcome increases your confidence for the next one. One day you will look back and realize that the moments you once considered obstacles became the very experiences that prepared you for your greatest achievements. The hardships that tested you also strengthened you. The delays that frustrated you taught you patience. The failures that disappointed you became valuable teachers. Nothing was wasted because every experience shaped the person you were becoming. Never underestimate the power of perseverance. It is not loud, dramatic, or glamorous. It is the quiet decision to rise one more time, to try one more time, to believe one more time, and to keep moving when others stop. Success belongs to those who remain faithful to their purpose through every challenge, every setback, and every season of uncertainty. Keep walking, keep learning, and keep believing in the future you are building. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are becoming stronger than every obstacle standing in your way. Long-term vision is one of the greatest qualities a person can develop because it gives meaning to today's sacrifices and direction to tomorrow's success. It is the ability to see beyond immediate comfort, temporary setbacks, and short-lived rewards. While many people focus only on what they can gain today, those who achieve lasting success think about the person they want to become years from now. They understand that every decision, every habit, and every action is shaping a future that has not yet arrived. The challenge is that the future is invisible. You cannot touch it, see it, or guarantee exactly how it will unfold. Because of this, many people become trapped by the present. They chase instant pleasure instead of lasting fulfillment. They choose convenience instead of growth because the reward is immediate. But life has a simple principle. The choices that feel easiest today often create the hardest tomorrow, while the choices that require discipline today often create the greatest freedom later. Imagine an architect standing on an empty piece of land. To everyone else, it looks like nothing more than dirt and space. But in the architect's mind, there is already a completed building. Every measurement, every foundation, and every brick is placed according to a clear vision of what will one day exist. Without that vision, the workers would have no direction. They would simply place materials wherever they felt like, creating confusion instead of progress. Your life works exactly the same way. Without a clear vision, your days become reactions instead of intentional choices. You drift from one distraction to another, hoping that somehow everything will work out. But when you know where you want to go, even small daily decisions begin to carry purpose. You wake up with direction. You spend your time more wisely. You become selective about the habits you build and the people you allow to influence your thinking. Many people underestimate the power of thinking beyond the present moment. They ask, what do I feel like doing today? Instead of asking, what kind of life am I building? These two questions lead to completely different outcomes. Feelings change from day to day, but a meaningful vision keeps you focused even when motivation disappears. Think about someone planting an orchard. They know they will not enjoy the fruit next week or even next month. The trees require years of care before they produce anything valuable. Yet the gardener continues watering, protecting, and nurturing them because they believe in the future harvest. They understand that every day of patient effort brings that future a little closer. Your dreams require the same kind of thinking. Whether you are building a career, improving your health, saving money, strengthening relationships, or developing new skills, the greatest rewards often arrive long after the work begins. If you expect immediate results, you may become discouraged and stop too soon. But if you embrace a long-term vision, every day of effort becomes meaningful because you know it is part of something much larger. One of the greatest obstacles to long-term thinking is distraction. Modern life constantly offers things that demand immediate attention, endless entertainment, social media, unnecessary comparisons, and countless small interruptions quietly consume hours that could have been invested in your future. The danger is not that these distractions seem harmful. The danger is that they slowly replace your priorities without you noticing. A powerful mindset shift is learning to ask yourself one simple question before making important decisions. Will this choice move me closer to the life I want 5 years from now? This question creates clarity. It helps you separate temporary pleasure from lasting value. Over time, these intentional choices begin to shape a future that reflects your deepest goals instead of your passing emotions. Consider two individuals who begin earning the same income. One spends everything immediately on things that provide temporary satisfaction. The other saves consistently, learns about investing, develops new skills, and prepares for future opportunities. Years later, their lives looked completely different. The difference was not their starting point. It was their willingness to think beyond today. Long-term vision also changes the way you respond to difficulties. When your perspective is limited to the present, every setback feels overwhelming. A single failure seems permanent. A delayed opportunity feels like the end. But when you see life as a long journey, temporary challenges become small chapters instead of the entire story. You understand that one difficult season does not determine your destination. Think about an athlete training for a championship. There are countless days when progress feels slow. Muscles become sore. Victories are delayed. Competitions are lost. Yet the athlete continues training because their eyes remain fixed on a goal that lies far beyond today's discomfort. Their daily discipline is fueled by a vision of what they are becoming, not merely by what they are experiencing. The same principle applies to personal growth. Every book you read expands your thinking. Every healthy meal strengthens your body. Every difficult conversation handled with maturity improves your relationships. Every skill you practice increases your value. These actions may appear small on their own, but over years they produce extraordinary transformation. Long-term vision teaches you to respect the power of small investments made consistently. Another important lesson is that your vision should extend beyond personal success. A meaningful future includes the positive impact you can have on others. Perhaps your growth will inspire your children to dream bigger. Perhaps your discipline will encourage a friend to improve their own life. Perhaps your leadership will create opportunities for people who once believed they had none. When your vision includes serving others, your motivation becomes stronger because your purpose becomes greater than yourself. Developing a long-term vision does not require knowing every detail of your future. It simply requires knowing the direction you want your life to move. Begin by asking yourself who you want to become. What values do you want to be known for? What kind of relationships do you want to build? What contribution do you want to make? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These questions provide a foundation for decisions that align with your deepest purpose. Every day, take actions that support that vision. Learn something new. Save instead of wasting. Choose discipline instead of convenience. Invest time in the people who matter most. Protect your health. Continue growing in character. These daily choices may seem ordinary, but they are quietly creating the extraordinary future you hope to experience. Never allow temporary comfort to distract you from permanent purpose. The future belongs to those who prepare for it long before it arrives. Every sacrifice made today, every lesson learned, every habit strengthened, and every challenge overcome becomes part of the life you are building. Keep your eyes on the horizon while remaining faithful to today's responsibilities. The vision you hold in your heart has the power to shape the choices you make, the person you become, and the legacy you leave behind. Build your future with patience, intention, and unwavering belief, because the greatest success is not found in living only for today. It's found in creating a tomorrow that is worthy of every sacrifice you make today. Every meaningful achievement begins with a decision to trade comfort for progress. Sacrifice is not about losing something valuable. It is about investing in something even greater. The people who build extraordinary lives are rarely the most gifted. They are the ones who consistently choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and long-term rewards over short-term satisfaction. Every early morning, every extra hour of learning, every difficult decision, and every moment of perseverance becomes a brick in the foundation of lasting success. Life rewards those who are willing to prepare before opportunities arrive. When you embrace sacrifice as a daily habit rather than a temporary burden, you develop the strength, character, and confidence that no obstacle can take away. Success is earned one disciplined choice at a time.